Okay, everyone, and welcome back. Okay, good to know. Still feel bad for making her run away yesterday, so better say something. Hey there, Hanako. So? Well, at least she remembers my name. That's not good news, buddy. Yeah, hey, just wanted to apologize for yesterday. Didn't mean to startle you or anything. I'm just new here, and I thought I should get to know my classmates. Aww, it's so sweet. She's so sweet. I'm gonna love this round. As Hanako looks up at me, I notice her scarring once more. It's a little bewildering that you can barely notice it from across the room, but it's so noticeable from close up. Oh, sweetie, it's okay. Oh. That's okay. It was my fault. No, that wasn't anyone's fault. It just kind of happened. So, are you waiting for someone? I saw you looking at the door before. Yes, Lily. Oh, you mean Lily, the blind girl? No, Hisao. Hanako only nods in response. Can't help but wonder if defining people through their disabilities is what... Yes, Hisao, yes.
Yes. It most certainly is a faux pas.
Guess that explains why Lily took off after her yesterday. She seems like a nice girl. Are you two friends? Yes. As if hoping for Lily to appear, she checks over her shoulder again. I think I'm making her nervous again. I hope I'm not disturbing you right now. No, that's not it. It's just easier if Lily doesn't come here. Wait, what? Oh, because it's hard to get around the classroom? Not really. Hanako's gaze drifts past my shoulder and towards Shizune. Shizune? Hanako nods again. What about her? Don't they get along? Hanako shakes her head. Clearly this is something she doesn't want to talk about. It does make a strange sort of sense. Shizune and Lily not getting along so well. Communication between the two would be all but impossible. It's hard I guess that logic makes sense. It's hard enough talking to Shizune through Misha, even when you can see whose hands are talking. Hanako's so focused on Shizune that I am the first to notice Lily at the door. Oh boy. Oh, she's here now. Hanako spins around to confirm this. Upon seeing Lily, she moves quickly to the door. Lily. Ah, Hanako. Good morning. Is the president here? Yes. Hanako glances over her shoulder at Shizune again, as if to confirm she can't hear them, even though that's impossible. I suppose we'd best be off then. Lily's sigh and tone of what seems like frustration makes me raise an eyebrow. I guess there's some kind of enmity between the two. Oh, poor ignorant Hisao, you have no idea. Eyes widen more than normal. Welcome to anime. Oh, you mean Lily the blind girl? Thanks, Hisao. She'll remember that. It's intriguing, but that's not really something I'd ask about. I'm sure if they wanted me to know, then they would tell me. It's only my third day here. I should be trying to make friends, not finding out why people are enemies. Still, it's a little funny to find out that the school has little feuds, just like my old high school. Even if people are more tolerant of others, they're still going to get on each other's nerves. Hey, Lily, how are things? Sorry I made you run off yesterday. Oh my, is that Hisao? Didn't realize you were here. Seems that Lily is a little embarrassed about being so frank in front of me. Sorry, Lily. I thought you realized. No, it's all right, Hanako. Hisao, please, don't worry about yesterday. It was just a misunderstanding. If you say so, I'm still working this place out. Well then, I think you'll find most people here are a lot more forgiving than elsewhere. If you're feeling a little confused, please don't be afraid to ask questions. Sure, I'll remember that. Lily? Lily gives a small nod of acknowledgement. I'm sorry, Hisao, but we must be off. Hanako really doesn't look all that comfortable here right now, and Lily still seems a little embarrassed. Wonder if my apologies really made any impact. Mind if I accompany you two? I know I'm kind of pushing it, but Lily hums quietly, still smiling. I'm sure that we could accommodate you, can't we, Hanako? She looks at Lily, then at me, and then she freezes wide-eyed. Sure. Well then, shall we go? I'm sure Lily wouldn't do this so easily if she saw how scared Hanako looks, but it can't be helped now. Declining after the deal is sealed would only cause confusion and problems. So we leave, all three together. Oh, it's so sweet! What you doing?
I'm out of jeopardy, so I'm just looking for something.
Okay. Lily walks beside the wall, letting her cane gently tap against it every now and then. Hanako comes along right beside her, so close that she's practically half hugging her as they go. Although it must make her walking that much harder, Lily takes it in stride. As we turn around the corner of the hallway, something hits me in the chest with the force of a steam train. Hanako shrieks a little and my vision briefly goes black. Ouch! Yep. Okay. Cool. Hisao, what happened? She's not quite up to speed for obvious reasons, but she sounds very worried. More than what the situation deserves, really. Someone just bumped into me. Nothing serious, just winded. Oh boy.
Sorry, it's my fault. I was just going to get some stuff and I was kind of in a hurry.
That someone here is Emmy, isn't it? The little girl coughs quietly and shuffles her plastic or metallic feet, looking down at them before saying anything.
Hi, Lily. Hanako?
Guess the girls know each other. Do please try to be more careful. You might be sturdy enough to endure these sorts of accidents, but there are people who aren't. Aw. The girl blushes and starts to fidget nervously like a little child caught misbehaving. It's so cute, I find myself smiling.
I know that. I gotta go. Teacher will have my head. I promised to help with the printouts, but I went running instead. I'm sorry, but I've got to change and everything.
Before any of us can say a thing, Emmy has already bolted away, leaving the hallway eerily quiet. Does that kind of thing happen often around here? There are more rules in Yamaku than usual for running in corridors. But that rarely stops Emmy, it seems. Shakes her head weakly and offers a slight composed smile. I don't think there's anything we can do to stop her, I'm afraid. Shall we be off then? Lily heads off along the hallway and Hanako hurries after her. The route to the room the two of us used for tea is fairly simple to retrace, being still fresh in my mind from yesterday. Lily and Hanako quickly go about the business of making lunch. Before I can even open my small bag of food, Lily's busying herself with her thermos and tea bags, as Hanako is setting out both their lunch boxes. Aww! So, this is what you meant by coming here almost every day? Yes. Hanako and I usually have lunch here. It suits both of us, so we ended up using this room regularly. After seeing Hanako's reactions to me over the past couple of days, I can understand why that is a boon. That, and Lily being able to get some quiet away from her class as well. I take my seat last after Lily's poured the tea for us and sits down. Aww. The more time I spend with these two girls, the more I think they're a perfect foil to Misha and Shizune. Even without a voice, Shizune is direct and brash, and Misha seems to get along with everyone. On the other hand, Lily is soft-spoken and relaxed, while Hanako seems to be the shyest girl I've ever met. So, how are are you faring, Yamako-isao? You seemed a bit flustered before. Apart from getting lost every now and then and being crash-tackled outside my classroom, I'm fine, I guess. You looked pretty hurt before. Are you really okay? For a brief moment, I considered telling Hanako and Lily about my condition, but then I pulled it back. I can't tell why, but for some reason I feel uncomfortable talking about it to these relative strangers, even if they have been pretty friendly. Yeah, it's nothing. I was just a bit startled. Judging from the two girls' expressions, I don't think they're buying it, but in what I assume is their best way of respecting my privacy, they don't press the matter. I guess that is one of the unwritten rules around here. Don't ask. And if people's conditions are obvious, like Hanako's, there's still bound to be a story involved. Everyone has things that they don't feel comfortable speaking about, and I think everyone here recognizes that. So, how long have you been at the school? You both seem to know your way around pretty well. Well, I've been here since the start of high school. I only moved into the dormitories a year ago. Hanako joined at the start of high school as well, and moved to the dormitories when she... Okay. Hanako joined at the start of high school as well, and moved to the dormitories when she did, if memory serves me right. That's right. Since high school. So you've known each other since then? Since I moved, yes. Hanako lives next door to me, so it's only natural, right? Right. Yeah, of course. Living next to someone is probably reason enough to befriend them, though I'm guessing that Lily's blindness played a part in it as well. Can't imagine Hanako easily making friends with someone who has to deliberately avoid looking at her scars. With the immediate conversation dried up, we start to eat our lunch. It isn't long before the bells are signaling the end of the break. Like me, the girls pack up their lunches as efficiently as they set them out. I guess I'd better be off. Are you going to go with us out, Hanako? Hanako looks up at me, and for a second I can see that she's considering skipping class. Maybe just to avoid walking to the classroom with me. Yes. I don't know what to think of that. Hanako really is delicate to the point of breaking if looked at in the wrong way. Makes me a bit nervous too, but I push the feeling aside, trying to be as natural as I can. We should hurry then. Class is already started by the sound of it. Lily gives a nod of farewell as she bends down to take her cane, Hanako and I filing out after her. We walk quickly down the empty halls to our respective classes. As we reach the door to Lily's 32 classroom, she turns towards me. Hisao, thank you for sharing lunch with us today. My pleasure, Lily. And with that, we part ways, Lily entering her classroom and leaving Hanako and me to make off to our own. She's still looking like she wants to run away. So, do you really want to go back to class now? Yes. Okay, then. I feel like I should say something more to her, but it's hard to come up with anything that would be appropriate and safe enough. Lily was right. The more time we spend out here, the more explaining we have to do. I open the rear door to the class and walk in. Teacher looks up at me and opens his mouth to say something. However, as Hanako follows me in and closes the door, he simply nods to us and continues his lecture. This is the third time that Hanako has had her truancy practically ignored. There's definitely something going on here. We make our way to our seats, and I notice that Misha and Shizune are both missing as well. I wonder if it's some form of informal agreement with the staff, or if it's a perk afforded to the unique students of this school. Trying to make as little disturbance as I can, I extract the relevant textbooks from my bag and start catching up. Cut me and Lily some slack. Well, of course, yeah.
Yeah, obviously, yes.
Hey, I'm the new guy, remember? It's not like I could have done much, even if I wanted. That's right. You shouldn't expect a transfer student to jump right into it on his first week. Lily taking my side feels oddly comforting, so I decide to back her up too. Yeah, you're being unreasonable with us both.
Excuses. Miss Class Rep has had plenty of time to deal with her report. And we repeatedly offered you a position to help with the student council work, but you refused to commit yourself to making the festival a success.
Yeah, but as I said back then, I'm not sure. I don't have time for this right now. No matter what I do, it'll mean being drawn into a confrontation with Shizune, and that is what she wants. Whatever, forget it. Turn my back at them. Lily, class is going to be starting soon, so we can talk more later. I'll tell Hanako you were looking for her. I can feel Shizune freezing. Maybe this is the first time she has ever been ignored in such a blunt manner. Thank you, Asao. I'll leave now, then. She gives me the sweetest smile I've seen all week and turns on her heels to make her exit. As soon as Lily walks out the door, I suddenly start feeling reluctant about turning to face Shizune. I can feel her eyes burning into my back, and I can't bring myself to look at her. She must be furious. I keep expecting Misha to say something to alleviate the tension, but it really is wanting too much. In the end, I go back to my seat and listen to the sound of Shizune's footsteps as she marches out of the room. She doesn't return until a few minutes before class. Hanako doesn't come to the morning class at all, leaving her seat looking empty and lonely in the back of the classroom. I have to tell her that Lily was looking for her if I see her later. After the events of this morning, class is pretty boring in comparison. I turn the pages of my textbook lazily. A bit of catching up to do, despite trying to keep up with my studies at the hospital, but not feeling that enthusiastic about it. The clock at the front of the room sounds unbearably loud. The teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes, instead opting to cover the board in rows and rows of equations taken directly from the book. This rhythmic clashing of chalk on the blackboard seems to synchronize perfectly with the ticking of the clock. I start to copy down the equations just to pass the time, even though they're right there in the textbook. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry because I have nothing to do, so I stay for a while, reviewing what we covered in class today. Prefer to leave last anyway. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry because I have nothing to do, so I stay for a while, reviewing what we covered in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway, so I don't have to deal with crowding in the hallways. My dude, I can relate to that for sure. I notice Shizune and Misha have also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. Shizune is signing so fast that her hands make noises like swords cutting through the air. Maybe there's some pent-up anger in there. I wonder. Misha is desperately trying to keep up, but it's clear she can barely manage to even understand her. Put my head down. Whatever they're discussing looks like serious business. Shizune signs to the point where her wrists crackle. Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters. And then on top of that, she has to sign back anything the other girl says. Seems like a rough job. Yeah? Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Luckily for her, their business is soon finished and the girls sit down on their seats again. Ow! I'm so tired. Hey, senpai. She's hanging her head limply on her desk, looking exhausted. I'll use the opportunity to reconcile with Shizu a bit, without getting roped into the student council thing again, though I suspect that door is now closed for me. Yeah, I'd fucking say. Festival preparations must be tough for you. Indeed, the people in this school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before and after classes, they're always talking about their plans for it. Oh, it's kind of neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. Probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. Shizune scoffs at me at first, as if trying to decide whether to ignore or sneer at me, but in the end she starts signing without doing either. Yeah, Kaiju. Yes, 74, my dude, go ahead. Yeah, fire away, man. I haven't found my momentum yet, so go for it. Everybody, let's all stare at 74 really creepily. Indeed, Kaiju, thank you for the tier 2. Just, man. There you go, with them realistic eyes, that's right. Damn, 74, what are you doing, right? I know the name, but it is... my brain's not quite on top of everything. Why don't you go ahead and explain where this is headed while I keep us going a little bit more. I know the name, but it's not identifying in my head. Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. Poor thing. She signs with harsh, heavy dramatic strokes. Misha translates her signing into speech for me. She does it so well, it's almost like Shizune is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha. She must have practiced it vigorously. Well, of course, we're in the student council, you know, so we're pretty busy. It's an important duty of ours to ensure the success of the festival with all our strength. We would shame ourselves in front of the past student council generations if the festival were to fail. That's why there must be no flaws, I think that was encumbrances. Nothing that might make the festival short of perfect. Shizune's passionate speech and Misha's enacting are really oddly fitting of them. Oh, I see. Well, I tell you what, Kaiju Senpai, why don't you go ahead and drop 74, a link to the Discord in chat. Reach out to me later, 74, and I have a degree in research. And I'd be happy to help you look some stuff up. Hey, morning, sweetheart. Love you. Never mind, I think Via's on it. Really, Nick? Oh wow. No, like attaboy. Thank you, Kaiju Senpai, appreciate it. I don't know, I guess because Hi. Yeah. I think because I made the choice to make her Southern from the get-go, she always kind of felt like the comedic relief or the sidekick or whatever for me. But yeah, imagine if it was that way. Jesus Christ. That would be a fucking thing, is what that would be. Like, I don't even... Oh? Hello? Oh, hi, sweetie. Look over my shoulder and see Hanako peering timidly into the classroom, most of her body hidden behind the door. Hi! Playing delinquent again? Fuck you, Misha! Fuck you. Hanako blushes hard at Misha's straightforward jab, even if it was only in jest. Right on, 74, right on. Oh. Shizune stares at her probingly, causing Hanako to look down and start backing away to the point where only her fingers can be seen wrapped nervously around the edge of the door. Damn it, Shizu. Maybe she is showing her dislike of Hanako by association of her dislike of Lily. It appears so, and Hanako probably knows it as well. What is it, Hanako? Has Lily been here?
Sorry. Haven't seen Satao. She, came by in the morning, though.
Hanako keeps looking uneasily at Shizune, who stares back at her with her usual studying gaze. What is she trying to do? Yep. Of course, Shizune isn't going to look away, and she's intimidating enough as it is, so I can only imagine how terrified Hanako would be. It's a little Indeed, indeed. Mods, can you handle the standard run-of-the-mill cautions, 18 plus, blah blah blah? I know Bun's gonna take care of it when he shows up, but it is a little uncomfortable watching Hanako's reaction to Shizu's normal behavior. This is what happens when two people of different extremes meet, it seems. Do you know where she is?
If she has any sense in her head, she's in her classroom working on her festival project. But who knows where that woman is loitering at?
Jesus Christ. I know you do. You need to find her? She was looking for you in the morning, but I guess you just missed it. Bleh. I guess you just missed each other. She waits a little without answering that simple question, looking awfully like she's not sure if it's proper to answer such a question. Yeah. I can come with you. If it's okay. All good, baby. You're fine. Hanako nods frantically, still on guard, her shoulders stiff like wood. Get the feeling that she might be more comfortable by herself after all, but it's too late to back off now. She has this really troubled expression she seems to wear almost constantly. One that makes me constantly be on guard myself. I wonder why. I made the new guy move when I introduced him to your book. Says, okay, we need a plan B. Oh my goodness gracious, yeah. Kind of understand why she seems to be so wary, or maybe more like why there could be a person like her, but I still have no idea how I should act around such a person. It's dinner time soon. Were you planning to eat with Lily? She nods slightly. So, she must have been trying to get in the cafeteria. Well, there's something of a dinner crowd, just like the cafeteria is crowded during lunch. It's not as bad because dinner time is longer than lunch hour, but I can understand why Hanako could be discouraged from going in. I pick up my bag and we take our leave. Hanako skips a little to meet my initial pace, so I slow down to match her speed. Oh, is it a gentleman? Doesn't take long for us to be walking at a comfortable pace down the hallway. It almost feels like we're going for a stroll together. Something I can't say I've really done before with a girl. Hanako doesn't seem to be thinking the same thing, though. Even though we are walking at the same pace, she never comes within an arm's reach of me. I guess she's still a little uncomfortable around me. Given how shy she is, there doesn't seem to be much helping it, at least for now. By the time we arrive at the cafeteria, there's not much of a crowd there, but Lily is nowhere to be seen. Hanako's head sinks even lower than usual. Aww. Have you looked somewhere else already? Just at the library. I was reading. So, she does spend the classes she skips at the library. Oh, so not exactly a thorough search then. Well, if I had to guess, she'd be in her own class like Shizune said, right? Right. With the slightest of nods, Hanako agrees with my reasoning. God, she's being so awkward. It's like I need double-layered silk gloves with padding to even begin interacting with her. Fuck you, Isao. Some small talk might help her become a bit more used to me. It isn't hard to tell that the silence between us is hovering on the edge of both of our minds. So, you and Lily usually hang out together after class, right? Yes. I'm not quite sure what I expected from her answer, nor why I even asked the question. Much was rather obvious after all. She doesn't seem like the type to cultivate a social circle, either, so I suspect that Lily may well be her only friend. Must be a pain, being in different classes, I'm guessing. She gives a sharp, almost reflexive nod. Compared to Lily's careful thought about her actions and speech, Hanako hastens to make her answers as prompt and short as possible. Lily comes by the classroom, though, even when she's busy. Oh my god, it's a smile! I didn't even notice that right away! Oh. She gives a small smile as she says it, evidently appreciating the fact that Lily goes out of her way to help her. No, Bun Bun, you to snack. It's pretty cute, really. Yeah, no, she is the dundereest of dunderes. Very, very, very much so. Yeah. Something in the back of my head when I was first looking at these different characters before I started my blind run was kind of almost hoping Hanako had a little bit of yandere in her, but yeah, no, fuck that. No. She is actually a dundere. It's pretty cute, really. There isn't any need to say more, both of us content that the discussion's reached an end. As we ascend the stairs back to the lobby, we are met by a group of students heading downstairs like a school of fish moving from one feeding area to another. Oh. They seem to be keeping mostly themselves, but before I can notice her doing so, Hanako has moved around behind me. Hey, you alright? Just keep going. Students pass us without as much as a second glance, and Hanako takes up position to my side again as we enter the building. Her momentary reprieve from her anxiety all but snatched away. Even as we climb towards the third floor, she doesn't seem to relax. It isn't as if I've ever known a shy person before, or even shy girls. The fuck kind of sentence is that? But Hanako seems to be pretty far beyond what I'd call normal in her fear of other people. If it weren't for Lily acting as a mediator, I doubt Hanako would have even been able to walk beside me like this. She seems to completely shut down in the presence of others. The rest of the walk up to Lily's classroom continues in strained silence, while I rue her inability to socialize at all. After we make our way up the stairs, the noise coming from Lily's classroom is audible from the hallway, or audible from halfway down the hallway. I wasn't expecting such a din at all. Well, guess we found her. This wasn't hard. Did Hanako come here first, then come to me for backup, I wonder? Oh, that's possible. Well, if that's true, then she's starting to trust me a little. That can only be a good thing. Eventually, the two of us reach the door to Class 3-2. With Hanako less than subtly positioning herself behind me, I gently open the door. Sorry, folks. Had to. No choice in the matter. Sorry. Oh, this is cute. Inside is a hive of activity, seemingly every student in the class talking at once as they work hurriedly on their separate tasks. Going by the paint cans, decorations, and banners being made, it must be for the upcoming school festival. I guess my first priority should be finding Lily. There. Finding her among the din is surprisingly easy, not least because of her looks. I know, Nick. Or middle school, yeah. It definitely does not quite look like a high school classroom. I will for sure agree with that. With a couple of students gathered around her as she stands at the front of the class, she seems to be in charge of the preparations, or at least busy organizing them. Carefully negotiating a path through the various students hunched over the floor for lack of desk space, I raise a hand entirely out of habit as we finally reach Lily. Yeah, it's the chair at the front, I agree. Hey, Lily! She perks her head up as she breaks off talking to a noticeably smaller girl who must be a classmate, trying to listen as best she can. Sorry, who? Oh, sorry. Sal! I have Hanako too. Hi. She's pretty skittish. Considering the number of people around, it isn't too hard to work out why. Lily takes a moment's pause to assess the situation before turning to the other student once again. For the moment, just ask Moria for his advice. Kenji's busy with painting one of the banners already. Kenji's in Lily's class. Ah. Quick nod and she bounces off, fingers carefully sliding along the wall's face for orientation. So the entire class is blind. Oh, wow. Ah, yes, Kenji, best girl, yes. Wait, Kenji? Yeah, see, that Kenji? Oh no. I quickly turn about, leaning to the side to see past Hanako. Sure enough, in the corner of the room, Kenji's hunched over a sheet of cloth as he paints it. His eyes remain only inches from the brush, reminding me of how close he had to be to make out my face when I met him. Sorry about that. Our class doesn't have many students with even partial eyesight, so they're in high demand. Apparently he can see kind of. That's right, Class 3-2 was specially for students with poor vision. Preparing for the festival must be pretty arduous for them. Wait, really? Holy shit, Bun! We did that how many hours ago? Fucking hell. Nice. Need a hand? I could give you help if you need some. Maybe Hanako could too. A chance to set her mind on something would do her good, but I doubt she has the courage to ask outright. She quickly nods in affirmation afterwards, so I'm confident I made the right move. Lily gives a noticeable sigh of relief. Ah, that's good. This might actually get finished before everyone goes off to dinner now. Would you be able to help the person painting the main banner? It's a big task for him to do, but nobody else can help. Kenji's not on that, right? Oh, boy. Kenji? Sure. She seems surprised that I know him. Can't really blame her. I take it you've met. Our rooms in the dorm are right next to each other. Hard to miss each other, really. That's a terrible way to say that. Well, it's good to see you're getting friends so fast. Friend? I wonder if that's the right word to use for him. Hanako's silence during the proceedings reminds me of the reason I put her up to helping in the first place. Well, we'll go help him then. He knows what needs doing, right? That's right. Just ask if you have any problems. Chorusing an assent, Hanako and I begin another trek across the classroom. Kenji sits crouched on the floor, his gaze fixed on the white calico in front of him. Hey, Kenji! No answer. He continues dragging his paint-soaked brush along the large, half-painted Kenji Kanji. God damn it, words. Can't see me! Fuck you, John. Let's try this again, folks. A little bit more water. No answer. He continues dragging his paint-soaked brush along the large, half-painted kanji that's sketched on the sheet in pencil. Kenji! What? Who is it? This is the way he treats class members. It's no small wonder he's working on this alone. It's me. So, right. I know that, man. What are you doing here, though? His dismissive attitude annoys me. He must be the type to really get focused on his work, hating to be disturbed by anyone till he's done, I suppose. I relate to that. Oh yeah, no, this is gonna be great. While we talk, the sound of Hanako's footsteps as she walks out from behind me reminds me that she's there. I was just gonna help you with the banner. No, Hanako, and I, that is. Hello. Oh, hey, I guess that's okay. As soon as Hanako enters the equation, his demeanor takes a complete about face. His sudden faux hospitality is slightly unsettling. Oh, right. Women. Second thought, this may not have been a great idea after all. Hanako and I grudgingly set ourselves down on the opposite side of the cloth banner to Kenji, noting the several small paint tins on the ground around it. Class 3-2. Noodle stall? You guys selling noodles at the festival on Sunday? Yeah, some stalls outside. Or something. His non-committal nature sparks a fair amount of suspicion on my behalf. Task at hand comes first, though. So, how do you want to split this? We do borders while you do the text, or do you want to switch and do the borders? Text is mine, you do borders. He has surprisingly strong feelings on the topic. As I reach over to grab a brush, I notice Hanako's already debating between colors to use. By the time I've put brush to cloth, she's already started on a delicate pattern. Looks like my idea of taking her mind off everyone around her worked. With a dark blue stroke, the three of us silently get to work. Not before Kenji takes advantage of Hanako's working to lean towards me and whisper, oh, I hate this word, conspiratorially, though. I do. Okay, man, why are you here? Hanako just wanted some help to find Lily, that's all. He apparently disapproves of my motivations. I get it. Looks like I misjudged you. You're infiltrating them, aren't you? Going deep undercover. Should have guessed. Letting the truth slip by him would probably be better than outright lying or annoying him in any case. Is that why you're here? Oh, Hisao, don't. Obviously, it sucks, but there's no better way to get intel than going in yourself. We gotta stick together, man. This is a harsh school, a harsh world. Yes, very harsh. Somebody said money, so I'm here now. He misses my true meaning as he leans back, satisfied I'm sympathetic to his cause. I'd better get down to work. Finished. Looks like I am too. Good job! Two of us connect up the lines of our patterns, mine being as close a copy as I could manage of hers. With a grunt, I lever myself up from the floor and look around. Aside from Hanako, tits. Aside from Hanako and myself, there's only Kenji left finishing off a sign, as well as Lily and a couple of students talking among themselves in the classroom. Just send me a Twitch whisper, 74. I'll be happy to help you for a little bit after the stream. Looking at my watch, it's no surprise. It's getting pretty late. Need a hand? Aww. Oh, God, like, I'm just gonna be cooing and swooning at just how precious she is. I just can't fucking deal with this. Okay. I'll offer a hand to Hanako, which she uses to get herself up. As she does, I can't help but glance at her wrist. If her scars extend even to there. Just how much of her body was burned. I feel a pang of guilt about it, however, as she quickly covers her wrist with her other hand. Looks good, doesn't it? Hisao, no! She looks surprised for a moment before noticing that I meant the banner. Oh, it does, I guess. Her smile, which is amazing, shows that she feels a slight sense of pride in the result, just as I do. With the floor significantly neater for the decorations being placed on desks and shelves, it's much easier to get to Lily as we cross the room. We finished the banner. I guess that's all that needs to be done. Lily gives an appreciative nod. Thank you, Hisao, Hanako. If there's any way I can thank you. It's fine. Beats sitting in my room studying at any rate. I don't mind either. She nods before suddenly remembering one last person. Oh, is Kenji still here? Just as I open my mouth, Kenji gives the answer from the other side of the room. You just finished! Carefully slides his sign onto an empty section of shelf to dry before quickly walking past us and out the door. See you, man! Bye. Remaining two students say their goodbyes to Lily before taking their cue to leave as well, leaving only the three of us. Well, guess that's everyone. I hope we don't have to do anything like that again. Working past school time? Indeed, the class's plans this year were ambitious. Maybe too ambitious. Stalls look nice, though. She's right. It shows that a lot of work's gone into them. My. I'm sure a lot of us would be glad to hear that. At least now, there's not much work to do until the festival itself. It's getting pretty late. Should we go? That's probably a good idea. Are you going back to the dorms as well, Lisa? Yeah, I guess I'll tag along. Nighttime lighting really makes the gardens look quite different. Compared to the usual look of lush greenery, things are much more calm. Being that it's so late, the lack of students around probably helps. The odd one or two can be seen scurrying to and from the dorms, trying to eke out the most of their approaching curfews, but no more. All that can be heard is our footsteps, in addition to Lily's cane regularly gently tapping the ground in front of her. It's nice to finally be able to relax a bit after the mad rush during school. Without even noticing it, I let out a small yawn. Tired? Yeah. Still getting used to the flow of things, I guess. We'll see you after a bit, Nick. The, thing with Shizune took me kind of off guard, though. Grit my teeth a little at the candid mention of their rather public spat. That said, I do want to sort out what in the world was behind it. About that. I'm sorry about it being so public. Shizune and I go back some ways. Her voice seems slightly irritated as she remembers Shizune, obviously unwilling to discuss it any further. I glance to Hanako for her views on this, but her expression is unsurprisingly, evasive and difficult to read. Either way, I guess her apologizing for it is something, even if my curiosity goes unanswered. I'll be glad once the festival's over in any case. Change of topics welcome, clearing the thickening air quickly. I can imagine. My old school's festivals were a lot more low-key than this. Yamaku stresses the idea of a school community, so the staff likes to make our festivals and such special occasions. And yet the students are the ones who do the work. What an unfair world. Hanako and Lily both chuckle in agreement, savoring the fact that none of the staff are around to hear our grumbling. I suppose coming from a strict old girls' school helped me a bit with Yamaku. Compared to there, Yamaku is much more relaxed. That'd go away towards explaining her well-bred speech and behavior in any case. As we come up to the dormitories, it eventually comes time to leave for our respective rooms. See you, Lily, Hanako. The two both give polite nods before setting off to the women's dorms, just next to the guys. As is to be expected of such an arrangement, there's a staff member casually patrolling around outside to prevent any nighttime shenanigans. Aw, no shenanigans? Walking past him, I quickly stretch my arms and rub my neck, both quite sore after having worked on the floor for so long before walking to my room. Feels good to actually have direction, though. After so long in the hospital, the everyday facts of studying, homework, and teachers seem almost a blessing. I guess if things continue like this, my time at Yamaku might turn out okay. Adhering to the nurse's nagging voice in the back of my head, I set my alarm clock to wake me up early enough to go jogging again. Made a promise and I'm going to keep it. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and ring those bells. That's all I have for today. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye, everyone.